Hello, dear unicorns! Today I'm here to talk about how to create your sacred space. Why do we need to create a sacred space? What are the benefits about it? I will be also talking about what things do you need in your sacred space, such as an altar, and what can you include in it. All right. So, why do we need to create this sacred space? Because we need to help the mind slow down. We need to rest this mind by first becoming aware and relaxing the body. Okay, once we start relaxing the body and we create a space for our mind to start slowing down, then we can actually become more in tune with ourselves. Most likely when you come from work, most people turn on their TVs or start reading something, and the mind continues to work. Haven't you sometimes tried to go to sleep, but your mind is still thinking of all the tasks you need to do tomorrow or all the tasks that you couldn't do during the day? That means that the mind practically needs to slow down. And a great way to help the mind to do this is by creating a space in which you can practice something that is going to help you with that. I personally use my sacred space for meditation. And a sacred space can also be used for different type of activities that is going to help you slow down your mind and relax the body. Such things as you could do chanting, you could do praying, you could even, some people dance, you could utilize some instruments to play some type of music, and so on. So what are the other benefits that you can have by creating a sacred space in your place? So this space, once created, will be available for you anytime you feel that you're struggling with strong emotions. You need to let out all the grief that perhaps somebody else has caused you. Definitely to soothe your emotions, to meditate, as I mentioned before, to contemplate and honor perhaps your inner child, your ancestors, and I'll be talking about more later on how to go about that with your altar. So, how to create one, huh? I know I live in New York and the places here are so tiny. I mean, we live in shoeboxes, right? So, you might be asking yourself, okay, Freedom, I literally have no space at home. If you happen to live in one of those places, I have seen the most creative ways for a sacred space. I have seen closets become a sacred space. I have seen corners of a studio become a sacred space. You can put a curtain in the middle if you have a studio, an open space, to have that space just for you. I have seen actually pictures on Pinterest on beautiful sacred spaces like the size of a closet, literally. It actually was inside a closet in which a person can become creative and put things of spiritual value for them in this sacred space. Now, so let's start with that on the how to. Pick a room that when you go there, or in a space in which you can actually close your eyes and visualize yourself bringing attention to your body, start feeling calm and relaxed. What space in your home can that be when you close your eyes? Now, 2, if your place is, like I said, very tiny, you can create what is called a breathing space or a breathing corner. You can also get a meditation cushion. That's another thing for your sacred space, or a meditation bench. And if you don't have those, it's all right. You can have 2 pillows and that would just be fine. If you are creating this sacred space to meditate, then as long as you have your hips above your knee level, that is fine. 2 cushions would do it, or add 3 if you have to. If for some reason your body does not feel comfortable doing the lotus position or pretzel position, it's all right to lay down on the floor and start meditating, just laying down on the floor as well. The most important part, this is number 4, the most important part of this sacred space, I believe, is the altar. An altar is a huge component on this sacred space because it's going to be that special space to invite you, that is going to remind you, to invite you to stop and take some time for yourself, to tune in with yourself and your divine guidance. Now, in the book, A Book of Women's Altar by Nancy Brady Cunningham and Denise Gress, they write the following quote that I very much like. It says, "The altar becomes a place where a woman can commune with both the personal and the cosmic aspects of herself." I found that quote so beautiful. Let me repeat that again. The altar becomes a place where a woman can commune with both the personal and the cosmic aspects of herself. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I think that's very well said, definitely. And let me see, did I left a piece of paper over there? I think so. So what can you have on your altar? And pretty soon I'm going to be showing you mine as well here. Is actually, I do have an altar with more spiritual fears that it means a lot to me, but right now, because of the moving, I have them in the storage, but I have some of them here. Now, so the altar, what can you put on the altar? You can place things that are going to inspire you, okay? For me, for example, I like to honor on my altar my inner child. So I found, which pretty soon I'm gonna put the camera closer, my baby Buddha here, my child Buddha. And it really reminds me that whatever happens during the day and I need my body to relax so I can tune in, I am honoring also my inner child, taking care of my inner child. And I take this, my child Buddha, with me even when I do workshops. I think it's definitely a blessing that I have found this beautiful figure. But you can also put things that are of value, for spiritual value for you, figures or spiritual mentors that have helped you throughout your life. In this altar, I also have the Virgin of Guadalupe, and whenever I have flowers, I put like a lot of flowers on my altar. You can have incense if that's something that you like. Also, it definitely ignites your olfactory senses. Anything that can definitely create peace between yourself and starts relaxing the body so your mind can start slowing down. Oils is great too as well. And I promised you guys I was going to bring Palo Santo. So for those who don't know or have not seen Palo Santo yet, this is what Palo Santo looks like. And interesting enough, there is a story behind this. There's like this huge buzz starting last year about Palo Santo, and I was really curious to see what Palo Santo smelled like. But for my surprise, I happened to know about Palo Santo throughout my entire life, but I just didn't know it was called Palo Santo. Palo Santo actually originates from Peru, where I was born. And when I first used this Palo Santo, I was like, hello, I know this smell. They actually use this in the churches in Peru. And I remember back when I was a little child in Peru, they used this incense in religious events. So it was very familiar for me. And and it's been so long that I smelled Palo Santo, and when I started smelling it here, I was like, wow, my place, I really like my place is holy. That's my connection with the incense, holiness. So I'm glad to have Palo Santo here. Let me show you guys again. The smell is just wonderful. It's very different. Nothing like I haven't smelled this before. Very, very, very different smell. So I'm gonna show you here my a small little altar. And something about for altars, I definitely suggest for you to have visual cues. And one of the things that I have here, as you can see, every day I pull a card. And a card that I have is called the deck that I have is The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. And in today's card that I actually draw a card for all of us today. It's this one. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. So that's, if you're watching this video, even if you're watching the replay, I want to make sure that that's your message for today as well. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And what is all about this video today, you know, always nourishing your spiritual life so you can have this immense connection with your divine guidance. And my question to you guys, please post your answers here, even if you're watching the replay. What do you honor? What inspires you in life? If it is nature, you know, I invite you to put crystals. That's something that I also have on in my previous altar. Crystals. What other ascended masters do you honor? I usually have, like I said, my child Buddha here, the Virgin of Guadalupe. I also have Ganesh. You know, what are yours? I would like to definitely know of that. Like I said, a sacred space can be as tiny as 5 feet, for example, 5-6 feet. It all depends. Oh, and this is the major key before I finish this live video. The major key to activate this sacred space for you is the following. What is your intention and the attention that you're going to be given to your sacred space? Okay? What is your intention and attention behind this sacred space? That's what's going to definitely create a sacred space for yourself that is going to work well for you. If you have any other questions about, you know, sacred spaces, please feel free to post them here, and I'll read them and I'll get to answer them. I hope this video has been of your service. It's been a pleasure. I love creating sacred spaces. I can't wait for you to post pictures if you already have one. There's so many other things that you can place in your sacred space. Candles, definitely, crystals, your own tarot cards or your own type of special deck cards that you may have. That is a connection for you with your divine guidance as well. But most importantly is that this kind of sacred spaces is there to invite you to tune in with yourself and obviously connect to your divine guidance. But tune in with yourself every single day. And I highly encourage you to meditate. And if you are a newbie with meditation, start with 5 minutes. That's how I started, 3 to 5 minutes. That's how I started the first time. And then as you're getting used to it and you start learning and this becomes a ritual for you, extend it to 10 minutes and then 20 minutes or 30 minutes. You know, and it's something like when you start doing it often, you're going to like it so much at some point. At the beginning, it's going to be like, what? This is insane. I cannot stop for my body from moving, or I cannot stop thinking. But that's not the key of meditation. Meditation is to become aware, to become mindful of your thoughts and become super aware of your breathing. So my friends, I hope this has been of service. I'll talk to you soon next week.